If you want to hear a real story, I'll tell you one. Once there was a time. Me and my friend Jason wanted to go bowling. But we went to the bowling alley. There was a disco ball hanging from the ceiling. And this could only mean one thing. What? This is madness! This is madness! No, Olaf. This is bowling fever! Ah! Okay, dudes, I went a little intense there. I just sort of made a reference to something, but who cares? But, anyway, I hate my stories, but I know a really good one. Once upon a time, there was a guy who sat on a bench, and then he went to his own chamber, and then he was taking a nap because he missed his wife Lenore, and then Lenore died for some reason because she overdosed on disco parties and Fortnite, the two deadliest things in the world. But anyway, Lenore died, and her husband, who's known as the narrator, was sitting down in his bed. And he was a little bit high, you know, so, he was a little bit high on Fortnite, so, yeah, he was taking a nap, and then he heard, knock, 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 knock. Okay, but he heard a knock, 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 and he said, "Who's there? I'm trying to sleep." And then there was no answer. So he said, "Sir," I said or madam, "I'm sorry to implore, but get away from my chamber door." Okay. Then he slowly walked towards the door, and suddenly he opened the door. Then stood a raven. Yes, dudes, a raven. From Teen Titans Go, dude! No, I'm just kidding. But a raven stood at his door, looked at him, nevermore. I'm not done yet, dudes. Okay. So he was talking to the raven, and then the raven said, "Nevermore, nevermore, nevermore, never, 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 nevermore. Shut up already, you're so annoying!" And the neighbor says, "I'm annoying. Let me touch your face." Stop touching my face, dude. I'm trying to tell you a story. Get in the pile. I'm using his own words against him. But anyway, dudes, this raven was sitting there saying nevermore. And then he kept saying nevermore. And he said nevermore again. And he said nevermore again. And he kept saying nevermore. Too close to the camera. But he kept saying nevermore. And, you know, the guy, he was tired, and he was high on Fortnite, so he just took out a gun and shot the raven. The end is what I would say if it was the end, dudes, but it's not the end, because then the raven was angry that the guy who overdosed on Fortnite, and he was tired, he was angry at that guy because he shot him. So therefore, the raven assembled an army of ravens, and then they stole the secret formula of the Krusty Krab, and then after that, the world ends, and then the ravens have some sort of battle that is like the end of the series of the book, and then there's one colossal battle royale, and then everybody fights, and then there's romance and diction and like all sorts of science fiction, and there's all sorts of like drama, and then finally the raven is standing on a hilltop, about to jump into a lava pile because there's nowhere else to jump. Then, dudes, only then, the raven just flies away, because, like, the raven's a bird, dudes, but the raven quickly figured out that it couldn't fly because for crying out loud, it just got its wings shot off, and then the raven fell into the lava, and then the guy who was high on Fortnite and who was tired saved the raven. The end. Okay, but what I would say if it was the end. Shut up already! I don't want to hear your stupid tales. I think you were the one who was a bit high on Fortnite whenever you read Edgar Allan Poe's books. But that was the most lame Halloween party I ever had. Mental note: never ever have a Halloween party ever again. That was so boring right there. I mean, come on. Okay, well, see ya.